Hello everyone, welcome to the KZGN News. Today we're bringing you news of an airplane hijacking, Washington performance polls, election news, today's KZGN Talking Points editorial, weather, sports, and much more.
From the Rademacher Hills to Bee Mountain and the mighty Sierras, Ridgecrest to Inyokern and China Lake, this is your news for the Indian Wells Valley with the KZGN News crew.
Hello, I'm Tom Whitnick. Thanks for joining us for the news affecting Ridgecrest and the Indian Wells Valley. Well, airport security has once again become a topic of discussion after a man with a fake bomb belt got onto a plane in Egypt. The man who hijacked an Egyptian air flight from Alexandria to the capital of Cairo on Tuesday has been arrested and all hostages are free. The hijacker, identified as Saif Mustafa, emerged from the aircraft after several hours with his hands in the air as he surrendered to police. Earlier, the hijacker had released everyone on board except 4 crew members and 3 passengers. Local TV footage later showed them finally leaving the plane. One crew member climbed out of the cockpit window and slid off the aircraft, the Associated Press reported. The jet, an Airbus A320, was forced to land at Larnaca International Airport on the island of Cyprus, about 377 miles from Cairo. The airline said at least 81 people were reportedly on board. In the end, no one was hurt, as it was a fake bomb belt the hijacker displayed. So now there are questions if airport screeners are checking for things that could be assembled in flight to become a belt bomb. At this point, we don't know what the belt looked like, but security people are now having to reassess their screening techniques. One news station commented that in U.S. airports, it seems they are only focused on liquid bottles and toothpaste. While those things are important to screen, so is looking for other things, like objects that could be assembled into a bomb. Anyway, it's sure that once again, screening techniques will be expanded. Luckily, this Egyptian hijack had ended with no one hurt. So how about the direction of the country? Do you feel the direction of the country is going is the right way? Well, Rasmussen released their latest poll assessment answering this question. Their latest poll shows only 28% of the people believe the country is headed the right direction. Now, a whopping majority, 66%, believe we are headed the wrong direction. Wow, 66% disagree with how the Obama administration has taken the country. But what is weird, the same poll gives Obama job approval rating at 49% and his disapproval rating at 50%. You would think they would be closer together. However, it is explained that while the president has to take the blame for the bad numbers, so does Congress. So there it is. People are upset with Washington politicians, yet they still don't understand what so many people are mad about. Well, in election news, the candidates are now focused on Wisconsin. The AP is reporting Donald Trump is planning to make his first campaign visit to Wisconsin on Tuesday, where the upcoming Republican presidential primary could mark a turning point in the unpredictable GOP race. But rival Ted Cruz has gotten a jump start on the contest, racking up influential endorsements, campaigning in key regions, and supported by a bullish advertising campaign. A solid Cruz win in Wisconsin would narrow Trump's path to the nomination, heap pressure on the billionaire to sweep the remaining winner-take-all primaries this spring, and increases the chance of a contested party convention in July. The results in Wisconsin will impact significantly the primaries to come, Cruz told the Associated Press after a rally in Oshkosh Friday. Wisconsin, I believe, will play a critical role continuing to unify the Republicans behind our campaign. The only way to beat Donald Trump is with unity. Cruz is positioning himself to win Wisconsin, next Tuesday's only contest, and the first primary since he began collecting the backing of establishment Republicans, such as former Florida Governor Jeb Bush. Trump has slightly fewer than half of the Republican delegates associated so far, short of the majority needed to clinch the nomination before the party's national convention this summer. Cruz has slightly more than a third of the delegates, but is focused equally on stopping Trump and uniting most of the party against him. If Cruz wins most of the 42 delegates, which in Wisconsin are allocated on the basis of state and congressional district winners, then the remaining winner-take-all contests in Delaware, Montana, Nebraska, New Jersey, and North Dakota could determine the future of this competition. A solid Cruz win in Wisconsin would likely require Trump to win those 5 contests to avoid clawing for the nomination at the party's convention in Cleveland. Cruz's campaign was airing about $500,000 in advertising over the final 2 weeks before the primary. This in sharp contrast to Trump, who aired no commercials in the state. The anti-tax group Club for Growth announced its plans to spend $1 million on pro-Cruz ads, while an anti-Trump group was spending roughly $340,000 in the final 2 weeks. So that adds up to almost $2 million Cruz and his supporters are spending to stop Trump in just Wisconsin. Ohio Governor John Kasich has also visited Wisconsin and is advertising in the state, as is a group that supports him. However, the polls show him trailing both Trump and Cruz. In the election commentary, it seems Rush Limbaugh has hit home with some comments recently. He asked, who else is disgusted with the GOP elite? How about the millions of people voting for Donald Trump all across America in the primaries? The GOP elite is in full-out attack mode to stop Trump. Leave it up to Rush Limbaugh to call it like it is. Rush asked the one key, brutal question that the GOP elite have no idea how to answer. Conservative talk show host Rush Limbaugh presented his listeners with a question that should leave the GOP in Washington ashamed. In his radio program on Monday, Limbaugh pointed out that while the GOP announced a 100-day plan to take out GOP frontrunner Donald Trump, they have yet to come up with a 100-day plan to take out Democrat rival Hillary Clinton. Limbaugh referenced an article in the New York Times that reported that the Republican establishment adamantly opposed Trump and was preparing a 100-day plan to deny him the nomination. Should have come down to that. Where was the GOP's 100-day plan to take out Obama? Anybody remember that plan? Where's the GOP's 100-day plan to take out Hillary Clinton? Anybody heard of that plan? Rush asked. Here's the next brutal question. When Trump does win the nomination, will you fully support his plan to defeat Hillary Clinton? If not, or if the GOP elite attempts to overturn Trump's nomination, kiss the GOP as we know it goodbye. So there you have some commentary from Rush Limbaugh. Now stay with us. After the break, we'll have news about Easter Sunday and the KZGN Talking Points editorial. Thanks for staying with us. Now here's a report from Tanya Pyle, KZGN-TV field reporter. Driving down Normal Boulevard, church parking lots were verified full in Ridgecrest Easter Sunday. Ridgecrest Calvary Assembly Church Executive Pastor Penn Rasmussen talked to KZGN about their Easter weekend community outreach activities at the fairgrounds Saturday and Easter morning service at the Kerr-McGee Center on Sunday. Rasmussen said about 3,000 people attended the RCA Community Easter Egg Hunt on Saturday. RCA provided 30,000 Easter eggs, bounce houses, giveaways including bikes and other prizes. Rasmussen called it an opportunity to reach out and give back to the community. He described it as a seed planted that grows and bears fruit. Rasmussen outlined the take-home message from the Easter service at the Kerr-McGee Center Sunday service. Senior Pastor Todd Black delivered the morning message, beginning with the first line of the familiar child's song saying, "Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so." The message followed on what the Bible tells us about Jesus' death and resurrection. It focused on the validity of the Bible as a historic document. Rasmussen pointed to the authenticity of historic documents compiled in the Bible from over hundreds and even thousands of years. He noted the documents provide more support of the historic life, death, and resurrection of Jesus than any other event or person in history. Rasmussen noted Jesus confirmed he would die and be raised from the dead. Rasmussen said the historic eyewitness accounts of Jesus' death and resurrection affirm our faith that Jesus is the resurrection, the truth, and the life, is not in the vain. More than 1,000 attended RCA Easter morning services between the Ridgecrest and Lone Pine congregation. Rasmussen pointed out that church doesn't just happen in the four walls of a building, but reaches out into the community. Now it's time for the 130th KZGN News Talking Points editorial. Here's today's topic. Are you having a good day? Or ask yourself, is your neighbor having a good day? Today's editorial is not going to cover politics or any news stories, just basic human decency. You know, as we go through life, a lot of things happen to affect us. We also go through times of great happiness and sadness, and then spend most of our time between those extremes. Most of us have a job, make a fair living, and have good families. But then again, is your neighbor as they appear? Are they really having a good day? We have things that affect us every day. Many times our state of happiness changes minute to minute. We could be going along with everything going just fine, and in an instant that can change. When you meet someone on the street or in a store or at work, you have no idea where they are in the happiness scale. They could be having a terrible day, but hiding it, carrying the load, so to speak. I have found, working as a police volunteer, both with my own citizen contacts and watching officers handle the public, most of the time, the most important aspect of handling a tense situation is remaining calm, treating someone with decency. The whole tone of the contact can be brought down to a softer level by remaining calm. And it goes back to where the other person's head is at this particular time. When you go up to someone, you have no idea what may be going on in their lives, but we all see things differently. We all look at life differently. Some people are real happy with hardly no income or material things. Some people need those things to make them happy. Point is, we are all different, and we are all in a different state of mind usually. When you see someone on the street or in a store or at work, don't assume they're having a good day. They might be, but they might not be. They could be having a terrible day. People can be sick, but not look sick. People can be broke, but not look broke. People can be hurting mentally, but look fine. People can be real mad, but look happy. Regardless of the person or situation, try an act of kindness. Just a simple smile sometimes does wonders for someone having a lousy day. And the reverse is true. Let's say you're having the bad day. Wouldn't someone looking at you and giving you a smile perk your day just a little bit? Would someone just saying hi lighten up your day just a little bit? Sure, not much, but just a little. When you talk to the employee behind the counter at a store you go to, do you think that just maybe that employee maybe could use a simple smile and a thank you from you? Human decency is important. We live in a chaotic world. All these things can influence our days. We can get mad at some news we hear. We can be happy when something nice happens. I know that I'm not always a happy, good person I'd like to be. I go on trying to make today a better day, though. Maybe it won't be. Maybe it will. Only God knows. But I know that trying to understand another person's position in life is important. Understanding my own position in life is important. Did you ever shout out, "What the heck is going on here today?" I know I have, a lot. But then, often there is someone there to calm me down. Someone that cares for me enough to look past my sometimes bad temper, mad at a bad day. Someone that puts me first, takes the time to tell me it'll be okay. Someone that just smiles at me. Yes, that is important. It's important to the giver and receiver. I recently was blessed with a new great-grandson. As I looked into his eyes, I wondered how his life is going to turn out. And now the family awaits the arrival of yet another baby. This little baby will be a girl. She is due any day now. So with the blessings of God, another person will join us in this world. My wish is that they will grow up fine Americans, happy in their lives, that they too will be able to appreciate all the things that make us full, that they too will understand human decency. I believe they will. Anyway, in conclusion, remember, life can be hard. Try and understand that your neighbor could be having a great day or a real bad day. Just be decent to your neighbor. Decency is contagious. It spreads if you pass it around. I'm Tom Whitnick, and that's what I think. I'd like to know what you think. If you have any comments about this editorial, or would like to discuss or recommend a topic, I'd like to hear from you. Please email them to info@kzgn.net. Now stay with us. After the break, we'll have weather and sports. Thanks for staying with us. Now here's Lane with the weather.
Thank you, Tom. From the National Weather Service, a strong early season storm system will continue to bring heavy snowfall and blizzard conditions to portions of the Rockies and Intermountain West through Tuesday. This will lead to dangerous travel conditions. Further south, very strong winds and critical fire weather conditions are likely over portions of the desert southwest. Wind gusts could exceed 60 miles per hour in a few locations. Temperatures across the nation. Carolinas at 58, Georgia at 67, Arkansas at 67, northern Texas at 75, Arizona at 58, and Los Angeles at 59. And for us locally, tonight, mostly clear with a low around 38, southwest wind 10 to 15 miles per hour with gusts as high as 20. Wednesday, sunny with a high near 67, south-southwest wind 5 miles per hour. Wednesday night, mostly clear with a low around 41, northeast wind 5 miles per hour. Thursday, sunny with a high near 73, northwest wind 5 to 10 miles per hour with gusts as high as 15. Thursday night, clear with a low around 46, northwest wind 10 miles per hour. Friday, sunny with a high near 76, west-northwest wind 10 miles per hour. Friday night, clear with a low around 49, east-southeast wind 5 miles per hour. And Saturday, sunny with a high near 80, west wind 5 miles per hour. And that is your forecast for the IWV. Now back to Tom.
So that's the news for today. All of the KZGN-TV know you have a choice in what you watch for your news. We all thank you for choosing KZGN-TV, Ridgecrest's only locally owned community TV station. Now stay tuned for Ridgecrest Talk, coming up next.